What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James. Readoptionagency.com, 21 years selling on eBay. We are Monday morning and not looking too bright for our Monday. All right, we are at 8:43 a.m. At 8 o'clock, I only had $12. So 6 hours, $12. Huge gap overnight, starting around 2 until 8, nothing. So, actually, it might have been before 2. Let me see. Yeah, it kind of really started around 1:30 to 2. And then, nothing. So I took some orders, and a couple we either paid or sold as I was taking orders. So we'll see where we're standing now. But yeah, $12 at 8 a.m. on a Monday. That was pretty bad. So let's see. And how was the weekend? So I'm at $75 as of right now at 8:45. So starting off the day on a bad foot, on the slow foot, on the shutdown overnight. So yesterday I ended with 67 items sold. My 7 organic jumped up after I made that video last night. So I ended up with 22 organic. That's the neighborhood of where it's normally correct. So 25-ish. So a weird, big, huge jump there in the evening time. So we made it up to 67 items and topped out at almost $900. So had a nice little flurry there at the end, which surprised me because normally on those low days, like that pattern I was talking about, everything just kind of shut off. So I'm surprised I had that flurry. The only down part is my last 3 days, we got the graphs going down. And then today, with that overnight situation, hopefully we'll have a bounce back day. So we will see how the day turns out. So, but as far as the weekend, that means we had 1,020. Oh, that's Thursday. So Friday we had $1,100. Saturday we had $964, $965. And then yesterday, $892. So getting back close to that 3K weekend again. So we'll see what happens today. But not starting out on a good foot. On a good foot. Hi. Let's get these shippings fired up and we'll see what. I think the topic I'm going to talk about today is new eBay and YouTubers who have been selling all of 5 minutes and how you need to be careful watching their videos. But let's see what some comments and questions are on the old YouTube. Alrighty. Marcus Dixon's Pickens. Too bad I didn't make the meetup. Would have been awesome to meet you, brother. Yes, for sure. Marcus. Oh, I think Alex might be here. I don't think Alex left for work yet. Okay. I was like, what's that noise? That doesn't sound like Alex is walking, though. Courtney's right here. Maybe it is. All right. Let's see. Yep, I notice the throttling of sales every time I have a booming day. The next day crashes out lower than the day before. The boom. Not sure what the point of that is. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon? No, never seen a baby pigeon. I think they're the same size as normal pigeons. Because you always see some that are a little bit smaller than a real pigeon. And I always considered them the baby pigeons, but they're like almost the same size as a normal pigeon. So have I seen a baby pigeon? Maybe, if those are the baby pigeons, because there are some I always saw that was a little bit smaller than a full-size pigeon. That's a great score on the vinyl video. Just getting into selling vinyl online. What do you use to ship safely? You should put a link, maybe make a little money from it. I just use the LP mailers. That's all I use. And they always say, take the vinyl out of the thing and put extra support in there. I've never done any of that, and everything's always turned out fine. There's the thing about vinyl buyers is a lot of the older ones are just very anal, and not even for a particular reason, for a reason they think is a reason that's really not a reason. And so there are a lot of anal vinyl collectors out there. That's why I stopped grading my vinyl, because everybody's interpretation of very good is different. And there's so many so anal people out there. I just put in there, I don't know how to grade, and it's going to be very good plus. And leave it at that. How often do you stop your promoted so a refresh and put them back on? Well, I probably do that every couple of weeks. But like yesterday during the slow period, I went in and adjusted it by 1%. So I'll take it up or down 1% from 15 to 16, from 16 to 15. So that last slow day, I went from like 16 to 15. So yesterday I went from 15 to 16%. So I kind of do that to kind of jog it. And is that what helped yesterday? Not sure. Not sure. So thank you, James, for being so honest. James, are you still have the wildfire hat from the Friday video? Yes, I do. I have not put it up yet. It's in line to be put up today. So that hat will go up today. James, you have a great inventory system. Wish you could explain it in your next video so others could do the same. I've talked about it in many videos, but I guess I need to make a video with that in the title so I can just share it. Find something that has sold is probably one of the worst problems resellers have. It's actually very easy. As I've said many times, you use the SKU location, put in the tote number, put the item in the tote with that tote number, and you're golden. Pretty simple. Pretty simple process. Force yourself to get out. I quit working full-time years ago, went part-time doing eBay. I started just doing eBay, then stopped going out as much, eventually gave up driving by myself. Then COVID hit. It's been the most of the time since then. I've been in most of the time since then. I forced myself to go thrifting twice a month. Other than that, I never leave the house anymore. Gained a lot of weight, back hurts, grumpy, plain mean sometimes. Yeah, I get that. Love the channel. This is a wonderful, heartfelt video, very touching and sharing. Thank you. I'm so glad I got to meet you this weekend. I wish we could have gotten to talk more. I have a bit of a similar path of not finding my way until I was in my 40s. Awesome. Yes, great to meet you too. Rule Squirrel. Oh man, I almost made the list. Scott Cha-Ching King is great. I don't know if I've ever watched the video, so I'll have to check out his videos and see. Your hair grows fast, is getting really long. Random comment, I know, but it's true. It used to actually really grow fast. Now it seems like it doesn't grow at all to me. Because it used to, it was like down to my waist. And then when my mom was fighting cancer, that was the first real loss in my life, and people react to loss with, you have to change something, right? So I ended up cutting it all off. That was like kind of my change that I could control, I guess. The human mind is weird in that sort of way. And I know different people will do different things to grieve, you know, with the loss of a loved one. And it always has to do with some kind of change, whether that's physical change or someone just going out on a whim and quitting their job and traveling. You know, the mind does weird things when it's put in certain situations. And so, yeah, I ended up chopping it all off. Ever since I chopped it all off, it doesn't seem to grow as fast. And my hairline receded some. So I got the 5 head kicking now. So you are an amazing fellow reseller. I'm amazed that you have the time to do a daily video as well as run your business. It's a lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of work. So let's get into this. Get some of this stuff shipped out. Looks like I got 3 multiples. One is a returning person. And my plan worked with my country 8 tracks, if you watched my videos. See, international, let's see how much our international is, since eBay was definitely shut down overnight. Probably have none, and I have none. So it always goes into play. When eBay seems to shut down overnight, my internationals vanish. When it seems to be running, that one day I had 7. So definitely a mess eBay overnight. This morning, still only $75 at 9 a.m. So let's get into this. All right, the Regal Brothers Grace So Amazing cassette. This is one of the cassettes I picked up in the Smoky Mountains. I bought a bunch of quarter cassettes of like independent religious cassettes, and there was tons of them, and I have tons of them left. But they were a quarter piece. This one sold for $14. Headed to Greenville, Ohio, and I just noticed these guys are from Dayton, Ohio. So let me see if any names match. If there's a name on here, no name. The Regal Brothers. That is not Regal in the name, so that is not their name. It could just be the name of the group, Regal Brothers. Don't know if this was a person who was in the band or knows them, or group, I should say. But $14, headed to Greenville, Ohio. So I've noticed lately, like, some newer YouTubers and kind of newer resellers who are questioning things that some of us who think we know what we're doing, who's been doing it for quite a while, and can see patterns and stuff like that. They're like, you know, I've seen a lot of people like not just questioning it per se. Well, some were questioning, some were just flat out saying that can't be accurate, that can't be true, and stuff like that. So I would suggest, before you take information, and this is even going back to some people who's online now, who's got huge followers, but they have like 200 items in their store, but yet they talk about eBay. Heck, one of them don't even have an eBay store anymore, right? So my suggestion is, when do your homework. Anybody who really sells on eBay, who you want to take advice for your eBay store from. Now, I'm not saying those people aren't good to entertain, right? Because if they do this, or that you follow them around on their camera. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, for actual sale eBay advice. Do your homework with the people you listen to for that. We got this Latin CD sold for $7.34, headed to New Haven, Connecticut. I think this was like this might have been a Borders I cleaned out a long time ago. Do your homework. If they're seasoned people who know what they're doing, you're going to find their link to their store. Because A, you can verify what we're talking about. B, heck, maybe you want to buy something and support the channel in such a way. And we're not trying to hide anything. First one, of course, that comes to my mind that won't hide anything, I don't think, doesn't appear to, and I wouldn't think they do, is Lonnie from Shed Flips. Everything's right there in black and white for you. He tells it straight up like it is. But you got to be careful with the people who just talking crap to try to create a YouTube, environment. And they're doing it more for the money on YouTube than for the business themselves. The comment about, can't believe I have time to make the videos. Well, the reason is because I kind of book it in and I don't edit my videos. You're going to see every little thing. If I got to pick my nose because there's a booger there, you're going to see that on video. I mean, I'll turn around and use, well, there was toilet paper down here. But you know what I mean. I don't take time to edit my videos. That takes a lot of time to do. I mean, when you're watching these pretty polished videos, that's several hours of work, right? My several hours of work need to be working in the business because this is not my income. So those polished videos, you got to kind of watch them. And then if you do find their eBay store and they only have like 200 or 300 listings, are they the best person to take eBay advice from? They may be the best for entertainment purposes, yes, but are they the best to take eBay advice from? So be careful there. Elvis Presley cassette sold for $4, headed to Rockwood, Illinois. And some of the newer ones I've noticed too, they've learned, kind of like I've learned and talked about, negativity sells and gets the attention on YouTube. If you want to make a lot of money on YouTube, you go into the negative realm, right? So be careful on people who's riding the negative coattail, because they're pretty good chance they're doing it just to try to grow their channel. It's not to try to help anybody. It's not trying to grow their eBay business. It's just trying to grow their YouTube video so they don't have to do eBay, right? Or they have to do eBay a lot less. They don't have to give a care about eBay, because eBay is work. It's a lot of hard work. There is a lot of wool pulled over your eyes on YouTube when it comes to eBay sellers on YouTube. So you've got to be very careful who you're paying attention to, who you're giving your time to, and who you're taking advice from. So I've seen a few of the newer people who've realized that the negative space, if they want to make money on YouTube and not have to work eBay, is to talk negatively about eBay or about other resellers who sell on eBay, who's been doing it for 20 years or whatever the case may be. Rex Smith, Sooner or Later cassette. Headed to Barberton, Ohio, sold for $7. So, yeah, I kind of noticed that over the last several days. Just when I take like a minute break, I'll kind of sometimes just, or when I'm making my thumbnails, I try to look for ideas of different wording and stuff to try to get more clicks without really going into clickbait mode or without going into a negative mode. But it's very hard. If you've watched my videos over the last few days, the clicks are very low because I haven't done that clickbait title or that clickbait thumbnail or went really into that negative realm. So then, like, I'm at the crossroads now. It's like, well, you guys know me by now. You know what I pretty much talk about. You know what my video content is, right? So is it worth now that you guys, my regulars, if you will, understand everything? Is it worth putting a clickbait thumbnail? Because you guys are going to click anyway, right? The only people who's not going to click are the ones who's just looking for that clickbait or who need that negative intention, right? So is it worth playing on that just to get those people to click on your video and make a little money off of them, right? Could be. I made a comment on Marcus's Dixon Pickens video the other day because he normally doesn't do that kind of stuff. And he made one like, I'm over it type of thing. I'm moving on is what it was. And I'm like, yes, perfect clickbait. And maybe it wasn't clickbait. I didn't watch the whole video. I apologize. I kind of got sidetracked or something. I only had a minute or something. But, and maybe it wasn't technically clickbait, but it was the perfect medium, if you will, the perfect wording to get people to click. And I think his video did pretty well on that one, if I'm not mistaken, compared to the other ones. And I actually commented on it and said, perfect clickbait title. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean it in a positive way. Oh, I could have just clicked on his name right there. So it's like, do I go ahead and just start making them like that just to try to get those extra videos? Yeah, I'm moving on. I've had enough. It's over in his title. And I go, perfect. That is beautiful. And I made it halfway through the video, it looked like. But he got 10K views on that video compared to his normal 3.1, 2.6, 2.1, 2.7, 1.8, 2.2, 10,000. Beautiful, perfect, and exactly what I said. And I love it. And that could have been just a play off of something else that happened in the video. Like I said, I didn't watch it, and I do apologize. It could have been something, you know, a little bit of something, but he played off of it and blew that little something up. You know, and it probably wasn't even, it's not probably not even about the whole picture of reselling. It was just a little something. And that's where you have to like kind of hone in and get that perfect thumbnail and that perfect title. And I've kind of learned by doing it a little bit here and there that the people who get mad at those thumbnails and those titles, they don't really watch all your videos anyway. They're just mad that they clicked on it and didn't get that whole negative vibe they were hoping for. And those are the negative comments you get on those videos. So that's what I kind of learned. So I'm like, well, do I just go that route? Just go all in on that route to get that 10K view per video? Because that video's, if you just average it at $10 a view, that's a nice payday on that video, right? That's going to be a $100 video right now. So I know my normal, you guys who watch, no matter the thumbnail, are not going to get mad at me. You're probably going to understand it because I talk about it, right? I'm not hiding anything. I'm like, how do I make that clickbait thumbnail for this video, right? So I talk about it. So my normal people are not going to get mad at me. It's going to be the people who thought they were going to get this whole negative reaction video and, oh, that's clickbait, but they don't watch your stuff really anyway. So I'd be curious to see if I don't know if he deletes his comments or not, if he got any negative comments like that on his video, somebody saying anything. But yeah, so I'm on that line to maybe trying to create those consistently, just to make more money per video. You know, so I don't know. We'll see. Jerry Screwers or something. It's got a beer and fishing, so maybe it's like a bar tackle place or something. Sold for $9.50, headed to Hawkins, Texas. Texas. But yeah, when I first saw that, I'm like, perfect. And the numbers showed how perfect that thumbnail and title was. Perfection. It's like the whole thumbnail thing is a whole art within itself. And it comes down to, here's the way I kind of look at it. If you get mad at something like that, don't. Here's why. Have respect for the game, right? What I know about Marcus from his online presence is, like he said, we haven't met in person, but he seems like a very good, genuine dude, right? So on a title like that, he's using it to get that traffic, but he's not in there like bashing nobody and, you know, talking negative about anybody. So he's using it as the art form it is to play the game, basically, because you've got to play the game if you want to get paid, if you will. So don't hate the player, hate the game, you know. And like I said when I started the video off, watch for the people who are talking negative about other people when they don't have a pot to pee in, only been doing it for 5 minutes, trying to talk about people who's been doing it for a hell of a lot longer, who have a lot more experience, just to try to generate a bigger channel. So be very careful. Be respectful of the clickbait titles and thumbnails, and question the people who are just doing it and creating that content for the views. You know, he's not creating the content for the views like me. This stuff doesn't get a lot of views, so we have to generate that traffic somehow to get that. So we're not sitting here talking negatively about people to make people react, because that's what sells, per se. Even though I just said talk negatively of a group of people, yes. But I think you know what I mean. Senior discount hat, sold for $9, headed to Staunton, Virginia. Staunton, something like that. So, I don't know. So I'm on that fence of trying to do that every video, you know, because if you watched the other video the other day, I'm at the ground floor again of my next goal of trying to get $3,000 a month on YouTube. So I'm basically starting at the ground floor because I made the first go. You guys made the first go. You guys helped me make the first goal of $1,500 in a month. So now I've got to work toward that second stage of that goal. And I'm not going to go around, you know, bashing other people just to sell content. Why did that go like that? But it might be worth creating that clickbait title and that clickbait thumbnail just to get that traffic. Because who knows? Because the thing about it is because that traffic generates even more traffic, right? So you're going to have new subscribers who actually like the content they're watching, but clicked on it because it got more traction in the algorithm because of the people who's like, oh yeah, some negative stuff, let's check this out, right? They're helping generate that traffic to grow that video, which will grow your channel. So I'd like to see how many subscribers he got off just on that one video, just because of the way he worded it and stated. So, and see, so now that I'm talking about that perfect title, do I use that exact same style of thumbnail and title because I talked about his? So technically, so that's where it comes into play, where it's clickbait, right? I talked about how that was the perfect title and video. So now can I use that as my title and my video to generate it? Because technically it's not clickbait because I am talking about the subject at hand. That's where you got to draw the line, and it's like a thin line, say, well, but then, like I said before, the people who get mad about it are usually the ones who don't watch your content all the time anyway. So can you use those people who get mad at you, who don't support you really, use them in favor of the algorithm, right? Use them to generate the algorithm and to generate the video of the views, right? That's where I am headed toward and playing with now in my head. So I hope that kind of makes sense to you guys, where things are going. So, and plus it's about having fun. So I figured I'm leaving that little line at the bottom of all my thumbnails so I can just put little goofy stuff in there. Like, what was the last one? I'm not just a pretty face, right? Just whatever pops in my head that's goofy. Pasta House hat sold for $10.50, headed to Albuquerque, New Mexico. So, still making it fun and interesting or goofy, but trying to generate those clicks. Because there's two types of people who, maybe even three, that I care about, who watch the videos. The ones who you guys are just always watching all my videos, and thank you for that. The other resellers who respect each other and who know who the good people are and know who the ones to watch out for are. The ones who give you solid advice, who also are trying to grow their channel and make something out of it also. And what was the third? I forgot. Maybe that was it. I forgot where I was going. I threw in some extra stuff that I didn't off the top of my head, and then I lost my thought. In other words, I shouldn't care about people getting upset if a thumbnail or something is clickbaitish, if you will, because they're not the ones who's supporting your channel in the first place. All right, another Manhattan Transfer CD. Sold for $4.20, head to Chicago, Illinois. I know that was Alex walking. Here's what I'm going to do since I'm saying it in this video. I'm going to use Marcus's. I'm going to use your exact same title of your thumbnail. I'm going to do a different thumbnail. And I'm going to use your almost exact same title. I want to see how many clicks I get on that video, on my video. Be like a test. Because let me go, because like I said, my videos lately, when I don't go for something like that, have been kind of poor performing, right? When it comes to view counts. Like the one last night, I'm already at 912, 11 hours ago. That's still low. The weekend ones are always low for me. 675 views, 1.2, 739. So those were my weekend ones. So those are always kind of low anyway. So my regular ones during the week where I've been sitting lately, 1.6, 1.6, 1.4, 1.6, 2.6, 1.2, 2.2, 3.1, 2.1, 2.4, 2.8. So in between, like, let's just say averaging maybe 1.6-ish average. So let me use those almost the exact same words since I talked about his video using those words and see where this video goes. I love doing stuff like that. It's just like little experiments, right? I love the whole mental psyche and experimenting with that kind of stuff and just how people react. And oh, there's so, they bought both of those. All right, I got an order here, but they ended up buying both of these, so it's got 3 of them, so I got to go pull the other one. Texans, I believe, and Manifest Destiny, Where Can I Run To? But they bought 2 of those, so F20 is the other one.
What's up, baby girl?
Every time I try to look quick, it always takes longer. I know that. I don't know why I do it. So we got the other one. So all 3 of these sold for $20. Headed to Bar Harbor, Maine. So yeah, it's a fine line trying to get the views without creating that negative content or the content that sells, right? That's why on the weekends, I want to try just doing oddball stuff. Like with Sunday's video where I did the top 10, my top 10 biggest followers. And then I used different tags and stuff just to see if it would get a different reaction. Let me see how many. That's not even in my top 3. I was going to say, see how many subscribers I got from it. Like my how much I make on YouTube as an eBay reseller. That one got me 11 new subscribers. So welcome if you're watching my videos. I appreciate it. Let me see. I don't know if I can click on them here. And I don't think it tells me, does it? Yeah, it does. So let me go last 7 days. And it's not even in my top 10 in the last 7 days. Okay. See more. Can I click on it here? Does it tell me? No, that's where it doesn't tell me. So it's not even in my top 10 in the last 7 days to click on it to see what it's done. I can't go lower than 7 days. Oh, I can do a custom. There we go. So we'll do Friday through today. So my greatest, the YouTube top 10 YouTube subscribers, I only brought in 1. So that was kind of fail. I tried to use the play on the word, using the word subscribe and subscribers and stuff to see if that would generate anything in the algorithm to get new subscribers. And it didn't work. But I want to play around with different things like that to try to find something other than the whole, because people love the negative stuff. So I'm trying to find something other than that negative connotation in the title and the thumbnails to generate the attention and the traffic that the negative or the indicating of a negative, like moving on, right? So somebody's expecting the thing about those titles is the people who watch your videos are going to watch it, but then you're going to get the people, the haters, who are like, yeah, I hope he failed, and watch it just to hope that they failed. And then they get mad at you because you didn't fail and you made a clickbait title. So that's what I mean, that the people who get mad at you are not the ones who's watching your video anyway. They're mad that you're still being successful. So that's why you got to go, well, it's maybe worth doing those thumbnails and those titles to get the people, because the only ones who are going to be mad at you are the ones who was hoping you failed or you moved on and you didn't. That's not exactly what you were talking about, that, you know, in that video. So that's where you have to, like, you know, I think it's worth it. And the more I'm talking, the more I'm convincing myself it's worth it. Endless Winter, Run CD promo single sold for $4, headed to Burlington, Wisconsin. So yeah, I am selling myself on the fact that I think it's worth it. And that's why I wanted to give Marcus his props on it, because that was perfection in my eyes right off the bat when I saw it. And I think he made a comment back, something about I teach him more than I know. So I don't know if he saw that with one of my older videos, because I know I played with it before of something of that nature and it got a lot of views. So, but I was talking about something totally oddballish, or, you know, it wasn't about the system as a whole. I think it was called I Failed or something, and I was talking about something a little goofy in the video about failing at something, and the people who clicked on it probably was hoping I failed at eBay, right? So but like I said, now I even leave the negative comments on my videos, so they're there for everybody's enjoyment. Because the only thing negative shows are the person's misery who's saying the negative. I need my space NASA hat. Headed to Terry Haunt, Indiana. Sold for $10.50. So yeah. I think it'd be funny to use almost the exact same wordings as Marcus and see. Hopefully, I don't think he would get mad if I tried that. Just to see what happens. Maybe me and Marcus could create something, play back and forth off of each other. Holy, my head's going into like a new realm right now. Like the ideas just opened up, like an endless possibility bubble just opened up in my head, empty, going, ooh, we could probably fill this bubble, like playing off of each other's thumbnails. Like, what if Marcus, in one of his videos, made a joke about me, right? And said something like, I'm just brainstorming here. Made a joke about me. Oh, I hate it when he does that. I hate that man. But then laughs about it because it's a joke. You don't really hate. But then he could use that word as title because he talked about that subject of hating another reseller, right? But yet he really didn't hate me. If you want to try that, Marcus, go ahead. I give you permission. If you can think of something cool. And then you could use that as the thumbnail, and then we could play off of each other, creating a negative yet anti-negative campaign involving each other, and we use that as the fuel for the thumbnails and the title to generate the clicks. possibilities are endless here. If you think of something, let me know. Hit me up. You can hit my email if you want. It's in the about on YouTube, I believe. If you have an idea, if you want to play along, we could play along with something. Maybe. Just a thought. You know, my mind's always... I might not be the smartest person in the world, but my mind's always moving. How about that? My mind will never rest. River of Songs, musical journey down the Mississippi. CD sold for $6, headed to Newhall, California. Because my one fear in life is stopping. To me, when you stop, you die. Literally and figuratively, right? If you're not challenging your mind and coming up with new thoughts, new creations, new creativities, you just sit in front of the TV watching eating bonbons all day, if you will. Your mind's not growing. You're not growing. You just kind of wither away. And physically is the same way. You know, if you're not just doing something physically, your body's just going to wither away. Next up, I sold another picture. We got just a family sitting in the living room. Sold for $7. Headed to Fresno, California. Kind of a cool pic. I love old pictures, man. That's why I always grab them at the bins. So there's that one. Out of all the pictures I find, most of them are always like white Americans. Like, for some reason, that's the biggest throwaway pictures in the thrift stores. They just don't stay in the families, I guess, you know? Maybe white people don't care as much as other national... I'm just making up a broad statement there. I don't mean that. Maybe because we're in America, and America's mostly white people. So that's why you find mostly white photos. That's probably it. That's probably more realistic. Ooh, I could turn that into a hate thumbnail. Yes. White Americans. I can make a white American comment. White Americans are just not happy folk. They don't support their lineages, their generations. Don't mind me. I'm looking for a case. I'm looking for a full case. Gotta start, thinking outside the box to grow the channel a little differently, on top of doing what I already do. First class, James, first class, not a CD, 2.2. Boom, put your boom, boom, boom. Next up, we got, are you ready for an 8-track lot? Yeah. My repeat buyer came back. I put up those the rest of my country 8-tracks, and I probably got more in the garage, probably boxes more. So I probably need to get out there and try to find some more. Because he keeps coming back. He bought, I think, 4 of these. 4 of the 9 was new stuff I just put up, and then the rest was older stuff I had in the store. So, looking back, the Jumpin' 50s, Starlight Moods, Tommy Dorsey, Glenn Miller, Great Country Stars, Country Showtime, Country Road, Greatest Hits of the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and Broadway Hollywood Favorites. So all these together sold for $42. Headed to Haverhill, Massachusetts. Well, I don't think they're going to fit in this hat box. They may. rabbit? They might. And they do perfectly, actually. Perfecto mundo. Perfecto mundo. I was just thinking, still on that collab thing, where if Marcus just said, I hate my boring reseller life, and then the first thing he says is, no, I don't, I'm just joking, right off the bat. Wonder if that would, no, I'm just thinking outside the box. Trying to always think outside the box, that's all. Is it a clickbait thumbnail if you address the thumbnail, the first part of your video, and say that it's a joke or that it's clickbait? Because then the people who don't want to watch will just automatically click off of it, but then that could be bad for your video. So that's probably not a good idea either. Because you want them to get at least watch 30 seconds, right? I believe it is 30 seconds. Because it's about retaining those views, and that's what you got to like string them along in the video if that is your goal. Because I watched this little kid who's got like tons of views, and this kid's talking like, I'm like learning stuff from him, right? And I'm like, huh. And he was showing how he was stringing people along in the video, not in a negative way, but just keeping their attention. That's a better way of putting it. Keeping their attention for that longer retention time and stuff. So I'm sitting here listening to like a kid who looks like he's 15 and learning from him. You want to know this stuff better than me. Eric Clapton's Slow Hand on CD. So for $4.20, headed to Clarksville, Indiana. Communication error. Did you go over? Okay, you're loading now. Yes, you went over. Nothing sold? Okay, we did have some sales. Okay, I was like, what? So we're 9:36, not quite 10 o'clock yet. Got a few more items here. US 3 Hand on the Torch cassette sold for $4, headed to Portland, Oregon. I kind of think, creating those types of clickbait thumbnails, they're better than charging people for information to make the extra money, right? In my eyes, it is. I'm selling myself again. In my eyes, it's better to try to generate that kind of income through the YouTube system as opposed to charging your people hundreds of dollars a year or a month just for information. The lesser of two evils. How about that? That's a good way of putting it. The lesser of two evils. Well, if you remember the political races, that's how we got into the situation in the first place. Barbara Mandrell cassette. So for $5.55, headed to West Haven, Connecticut. Oi, 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 oi. With this communication film. Next up, we've got this Passenger 57. It's a promo item, but it's a bag tag promo item for the movie Passenger 57. That was Wesley Snipes, I believe, right? Or am I thinking something else? Maybe, I don't know. I don't watch many movies. There you go. I just kind of remembering the cover of the box. All right, so this headed to New Hampshire, sold for $12.50. I don't think it's going to break. It doesn't feel like it's going to break. It's not that fragile or anything. Everything. So we've got, what hasn't pulled yet is 3 Blu-ray movies sold for $20 with a note, buyer's note. What's up, James? I am a big fan of your videos. Kick ass. I've been a reseller for about 3 years now, but I still am learning and re-strategizing as I go. Your videos play a big part in that and in motivating me to list. I have also sent an offer for the Layered Cake Blue Disc only. Thank you for all the effort you put into uploading regular videos and have an excellent week reselling. Well, thank you. And let me go ahead and take, I don't even see that offer in here. I don't see an offer. You say you sent an offer, but there's not one here. There's an offer for a Corvette hat. And now an offer for British pounds for a Guinness hat in British pounds. 10 British pounds is $12.48 in US dollars. I will take that. So we're at 940 and I'm at 106 now. Not even going to make the low end of where I like to be. But if the last week plus has been in any indication, like out of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, out of the last 11 days, there's only been 2 duds. For eBay, that's great compared to what it's been for the past 2 years. To have only 2 dud days out of 11, that's huge. That's a big turnaround. Big turnaround. Compared to where all the days I've been playing. Hell, even earlier this month, $450, $600, $570, $570, all in a row, right? And then it jumped up to like $900, and then back down to $400, then up to $900, then back down to $500, then $502 after that, and then $667. So that was, those were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days where only 2 were good. So from the beginning of last month to the beginning of this month, it's flipped. We had 2 out of 11 that were good then, where we had 2 out of 11 that are bad now. So definitely going in the right direction. So thank you, eBay, for starting, getting more of the problems fixed. The last, I listed a little yesterday, didn't get no server errors or system failures. Only did a little on Saturday, nothing though. So I can't remember the last time I did, but I probably said it in a video, so you guys probably know before me. But I'm only down 0.03%, so I should at least be back into the green by the end of the day. Knock on everything. But hopefully it picks back up. But I'm not, even if it don't today, I'm not going to worry about it because only 2 bad days out of 11. If today's going to be one of those bad days, I'll take it. For the next 4 to be good, no big deal, no problem. I'll take that. Hell of a lot better than it was. So I will take it. All right, so I think that's all. So unless I change my mind at the last minute, I think I'm going to try to use Marcus's wordings. So, Marcus, if you're watching this and you hear that and you have a problem with it, just tell me to take it down. I'm just going to probably use the same wordings that you used or whatever. I'll take it down out of respect, you know. I don't want to pee nobody off. That's not the goal. More of experiment just to see. And if you want to try to create something where we play off of each other somehow, even if it's just a short campaign to try play around with, see what happens. I'm game. And throw around ideas or whatever. Let's see. I think I got a couple more comments here since, I'm at an hour already. Doubled revenue in 3 months. Way to go, James. All the hard work's paying off. Oh, the YouTube thing. That's cool. Thank you. I have a different type of channel and my views have fallen to half this week. They will pick back up again, definitely changing the algorithm. Yeah, when I made a comment about that, my videos kind of seem to drop off. So that's what is getting the whole juices flowing with how to do it. Reselling is in my blood. My mom worked a full-time job. My stepfather, not so much. I realized we definitely were not privileged. My parents bought and fixed, cleaned, and sold long before the internet. Back in the day of classified ads. Yep. You had to pay for the newspaper. I'm now a full-time reseller and still not privileged. However, we do make our own. 100%. The little bluebird. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you for all the love, all the support, all the likes, all the comments, all the subscribes, all the newbies, all the originals. No, sorry. All the OGs, all the newbies, all the OGs, and everyone in between. That's what I was trying to say. Appreciate it. Much love. And hopefully today bounces back, and hopefully today is good for you guys. And if I don't see you this evening, I will see you in tomorrow's video. So see you all in the next video. Later.